This episode of the Boss Rush Podcast is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn more about Boss Rush Media's family of podcasts, head on over to bossrushmedia.com or patreon.com/bossrushmedia. Thanks for your continued support. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrigan. Alongside me, as always, is the pending health check himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's popping?
Threw you off there, didn't I?
Your health check's popping.
Well, I wouldn't say you threw me off there, but that was interesting.
Yeah. Well, you were holding us up.
I mean, pending health checks. Like I'm 48 years old, so I'm a man of a certain age at this point, and there's health checks that need to be done.
Yep. Get that prostate exam.
Yeah. Sometimes things got to get uncomfortable.
Mm. Yo, is it true? Because I haven't had an actual prostate exam, and I haven't had a prostate exam in a while. Like when I say a while, I mean like
an official prostate exam.
An official one, yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I haven't had a prostate exam in like over 10 years. But I heard they don't do that anymore in the doctor's office.
I don't know. I've never gotten one. So
wait, Corey, wait, you've never gotten one? You used to play sports. I know you've gotten a prostate exam.
Mm-mm.
What?
Never gotten one.
I don't know. My
they do the hernia check where they like squeeze your balls and make you cough. But they don't.
I don't know. I think my partner still gets the finger, and he complains every time. He goes, "My doctor's fingers are real fat."
If you do your Kegel exercises, it's not a problem.
He's not very open-minded about that stuff.
Well, that's his problem.
It is a he problem. I'm like, suck it up, you baby.
I have never had a doctor finger my butthole.
Not yet. Wait, is this after dark?
There's not a good transition out of that one.
I swear, you guys are going to just graduate straight to the colonoscopy. I can see that right now.
I've had two colonoscopies.
That's probably true.
But that one they give you a nice nap for. Best nap I've ever had in my life.
Do you? You know what? We'll save it for another. We'll save it for another time.
Speaking of the best nap of someone's life, Mad Pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov, also here.
Hey.
There was no good transition. I had to.
It's okay. I am the great trend. Oh no, I was going to say I'm the great transition, but that doesn't make sense.
I could say something, but it'd be totally dark.
Okay, all right, and.
Speaking of dark,
the opposite
PK
of dark.
Pat Klein.
Dark and dank.
Dank.
But speaking of health exams, I actually went to the dentist yesterday, and they gave me bad news. They want me to get a wisdom tooth extracted.
Oh man, I've had all mine removed.
I'm 40 years old.
It's a good time.
You would think that if you needed them out, you would have gotten them out by now.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Just you know what? This one in the back, I think we should probably get it out. It's like I'm 40 years old. The very last surgery I've ever had was 38 years ago. I have no concept of what it's like.
So they're going in to get them?
Probably.
Like have your wisdom teeth even like come in?
Yeah.
Oh, then it's not going to be that bad of an oral surgery then. Like I can understand they're cutting you up and going in to get them.
I mean, they kind of got like the one they're talking about is like partial ruptured. Like, and so they're like, well, it looks to be hard to clean and it's probably going to get a cavity eventually. So let's just get it out.
It's not like an impacted type issue.
No,
that's good.
When originally I was told that my teeth were coming in fine. So I didn't need to get them extracted.
All right. Well, I mean, it still can be a scary thought, but yeah, it doesn't sound as severe as it could be. Like if they're impacted, they need to like drill into your gum and then take it out.
Yeah.
That's what they did to me.
That's trauma. That's trauma.
That's what they did to me, and I was all like this. I was like a chipmunk.
Yeah.
But they put you
Yeah,
out.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. No, I was
No.
giggling when they
Mhm.
woke me up. I was still laughing, and I was all over
you
the
were
place.
high on the juice.
Oh, I was so high on the juice. And back in the day, before they cracked down on opioids, they gave me 30 Percocet. And the good news is, the pain really wasn't that bad. I actually only ended up using half a Percocet, and the rest was didn't need it. Wasn't that? I don't want to say, oh, it's not bad. Don't worry about. Like, it's natural to worry about it,
I've
but
never
It's
been
just
put
a flesh
under, so
wound.
that's the scary thing is I never have had a drug that has literally knocked me out.
yeah, yeah, because you're like, what if I don't wake up, or what if I'm awake during the surgery?
Mhm.
But whatever, that's a natural fear. But
It's
I
exciting.
got this.
You're gonna have a good time, Pat.
Just think of it as like I said, a really nice nap. And if you're lucky, you'll get the giggles afterwards for a while.
Yeah. Make sure someone drives you home though,
Yes.
because I woke up.
Mhm.
I woke up and sat up and thought I was upside down for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Fun.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking I could probably get away with going to the dentist one more time and being like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to get this set up," So I can maybe delay this for like 9 months.
Yeah, you're probably fine if you delay it. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but you'll be fine.
I've had this damn tooth in my mouth for like 20 years. What's another 6 months, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Eat all the junk you can.
Yeah.
Oh. Mhm.
Speaking of junk, let's talk about video games, guys.
Yeah.
I have to delete something from my list, everybody, of my
Oh.
game playing list, because I tried to go on and play Spider-Man last night, and somebody got hit with that PS Plus ban.
That's nuts, dude.
Teaches you to use a Google account.
And that, I know, I have a Gmail account, just like 80% of the world. Not like you Hotmailers out there or you Yahoos.
Yahoo.
I use my Yahoo account to sign up.
I still got my Hotmail account from when I was a teenager.
Oh, you guys are Yahoos. But yeah, I got hit with that, and so I didn't play it last night. I ended up playing Pikmin 4.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
So, I mean, I played all the way through the demo, and I wanted to get it at that point, but we were like, I don't know, there's some sort of, financial thing. Oh, we were putting money away for a house. That's right. I was like, why didn't I buy it then? But then I got some gift cards, and I ended up getting the tickets, the Nintendo Switch tickets, and I got that, and I got Super Mario RPG.
Nice.
Mhm.
So I I love just wandering around in Pikmin 4 and just exploring. My only, and this is a minor gripe because this is obviously the point of the game, is that the day-night cycle is too short. I wish it was about 5 to 10 minutes longer. I mean, obviously the clock stops when you go underground, but
No, I get it because the cycle happens because they want it to be a challenge, right? But at the same time, you want to explore the world, so like I get it because I find myself running out of time, and I'm like, oh man, just because I was enjoying myself.
Yeah.
At least they don't penalize you in this game for
Exactly.
your time.
Yeah.
And
They do if your Pikmin are carrying an item back and they don't make it.
Yeah.
The first time I've lost a Pikmin because of that, and I watched what happens, I was a little traumatized by the brutalness. I'm like, oh no, I'm a murderer, a passive murderer.
You're a bad parent. You let your little Pikmin child die.
Dead. So I've been playing that. I also played about the first 45 minutes of Super Mario RPG. I hope that the game really opens up after this, because what I've played so far is like kind of boring.
Where are you at? Like, did you get to the crocodile thief?
No, I don't. Did I? No, I don't remember where I'm at now, actually.
Mushroom Kingdom.
Let's see. Where am I? I went through this like little maze where you're kind of like chasing a toad that was being attacked. I fought some Hammer Brothers, and then I moved into the next area. I'm also going to admit that the first like there's probably like 10 minutes in there where I didn't know I had to go back to Bowser's Castle because I was ignoring Toad when he was talking to me because it was all text, and then I just ignored him.
I feel like it does.
How dare they make you read in a video game?
I know, it's 2023. Come on.
Oh,
You got a new voice actor for Mario. Let him use it. Just saying.
I don't know what to tell you about this, man. It's hopefully maybe with some of the other characters when they come into the team, but that you kind of got the whiff of what that game's like.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the game's got antics and stuff, but if you're one of those people that the last good Mario RPG style game you played was Paper Mario and the Origami King, like, you're gonna have a problem with this one.
Yeah, it's pretty linear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. It's just like
Corey,
I'm just searching.
It's just like playing old school Final Fantasy. Like Final Fantasy.
It's not. It's way easier. It is so much easier.
There's that, but I'm just saying it's like playing Final Fantasy 5 or 6. That's the experience, because that's what Square was all about back in those days. It was a Square Soft game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it wasn't a Square Enix.
Yeah.
Hit a town, go to dungeon. Hit another town, go to dungeon.
It actually reminds me of like a simplified version of the Mario and Luigi games.
Yeah, because that's what the Mario and Luigi games are built off of.
I know. I'm just that's what for people who haven't played it and have played those, that's kind of what it's like. But it didn't grab me right away like those games did, or most of those games did. But I'm going to keep pushing because you know why? It's
our
January's book club.
Yeah.
I also put up the poll for February's book club. So go vote. If you are a patron or not a patron, go to patreon.com and search for the book club thread. And there are 5 options.
What are those options?
I don't know. I have to pull them
Okay,
up.
no, it's all right. You don't need to,
If you really hate us, vote Yakuza Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, because we will never get that game finished by then.
I'll pull it up in a minute. I'll remind everybody before we get into our topics what the book club stuff is, just for a reminder. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. I've also been playing Season of the Wish and Destiny. It's a very, 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 very good season. The story, I mean, you guys have heard me 100 times before, but this is the final season of Destiny ever. And it leads into the final shape, which is now coming out in June instead of February. I still think it's going to get pushed into September, but that's just me. But so far, it's the kind of goal of this is you are trying to woo a dragon, Riven, the last wish dragon. In actually, Riven's dead, so you're kind of just talking to the ghost, and you're searching for her dragon eggs to bring them back to her, so you can make the 15th and final wish to go into the Traveler and figure out what the final shape is and explore the Pale Heart.
Oh, it must be like kind of bittersweet.
Did they spoil it there by saying that the shape is really a heart?
Well, right now the final shape is a giant pink triangle in a white circle. So
I kept on saying it was a square. Never mind.
So I don't know. I'm really interested to see what's going on. The story for the season is 8 weeks, and the entire season is 7 months because of the delay. So, yeah, they are dropping there's like a 2-month event right before the final shape launches, but I'm not 100% sure what's all in that. We've talked about it before, but I don't remember because my brain can't retain any information ever. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. Also, I've been staring at a ROG Ally on BestBuy.com for like a week and a half.
LeRon, you're on mute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it says as long as you're looking at Z1 Extreme. I'm sorry, there was some noise going on outside my door, so I had to mute for a second.
I was actually going to ask them to downgrade the worst one. Basically make it a Game Boy Color. No, I was looking at that one. I need to sell some more stuff, but I think I'm going to get one in a couple months, maybe after we move.
Good. Now, I mean, Okay, so your main reason is Destiny. Am I correct?
Destiny, Game Pass, maybe some emulators.
Game Pass works on the Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm. That I did not have any problem with.
Only certain games work on the Steam Deck. It's
That's true.
Multiplayer games do not work on the Steam Deck. Well, some of them.
Just like with everything, you got to learn the workarounds, because sometimes it says not compatible, but it's like one thing that sometimes like the game is actually playable, but there's like one thing that like basically slams it into that unplayable category. Like
here's the thing. I would probably prefer the Steam Deck over the ROG Ally, to be perfectly honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't play Destiny on it unless I like stream it from my Xbox, and I don't want to do that. I guess I could sideload Windows, but I also don't really want to do that either. So I don't know. I think the Steam Deck. I think like the Steam Deck is kind of like, I would compare it to a first party piece of hardware. I mean, the ROG Ally is nice, but I don't know how much. I don't know. I don't know. I like them both. I have questions about both, and I have concerns about both.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll save that. Maybe that'll be a topic next week or at the beginning of the year.
Guys, I feel stupid.
Why?
For the longest time, I've been thinking that Best Buy, that I've been no longer getting rewards at Best Buy because I don't see certificates.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they have a point system now, and I have enough points for $130 worth of certificates.
Nice.
Wait. Are you in the Power App program, or whatever they call it?
No, not that new one anymore. I do have a Best Buy credit card though.
Oh, okay.
Where do you see that?
That's how you get points.
I just went to Best Buy on my phone just to see if they had a portal.
Oh, I
and
gotta use my
it's telling
phone.
me that, hey, you have this many points, which is enough for this much certificates. I'm like, geez, would have been great to know.
Well, I've made some big purchases at Best Buy recently. I want to know how many points I have. Do I have to go to my profile?
I don't know. It just magically appeared on the front screen for me.
Huh. Interesting.
Worth checking out.
My Best Buy? Is that what that?
Or bestbuy.com.
All right. Well, I'll play with this while somebody else goes, because I need to find this now. You know what? I'm picking on Stephanie.
Ooh.
You go, girl.
I got one game only, and that's Baldur's Gate 3, because Baldur's Gate 3 is a game that demands all of your attention. I've logged almost 18 hours on Baldur's Gate after only playing it for a week. Most of the time it's because I screw something up or it glitches, and then I have to load a game and realize it didn't autosave for like the last hour, so I need to replay that hour.
Yikes.
I know my definition of what makes a great game for Game of the Year is different than most people. Why is my keyboard red? Anyway, I don't like it when a game is too glitchy. I will dock points for my personal Game of the Year because of that. And remember how I said last week?
As you should.
Last week I was on the fence. Like, I can understand where Baldur's Gate is like Game of the Year. I see it, but I don't know. For me, it's a great game. I'm all for it being RPG of the Year, but it's not. My personal beliefs, it's not the Game of the Year. And I'm sorry, we just probably angered a lot of people, and we'll get lots of negative Apple reviews. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I love it. I like it. I will keep playing it. But it has glitched out on me so many times. And it's...
Wait, what system are you playing it on?
PS5.
You playing on PS5? Okay.
Now, I thought it was the Portal. So I would go to my console, play on my console. Same thing. Like, I still get the same glitches, whether it's one or the other. So I'm like, all right, it's not my Portal. For example, the latest one, and it's my fault, because when I looked up a bunch of videos on like some top tips and tricks for Baldur's Gate, I think every single one says, please save frequently, because the autosaves are not frequent. Okay, that's fine. But if I messed up something, I made the wrong decision, did something stupid, and I have to start over, I don't get mad at the game. I get mad at myself. But I will get mad at a game where, okay, so I was in this fight destroying like 4 leaders in this temple. Okay. I was fighting the last leader, and one of my party members died in the process because when you kill this drow, like it just explodes with necrotic damage. It's like a crowd of like a suicide bomb kind of thing. And my wizard died, Gale. This character though will give you instructions on how to resurrect him. You need to go to my pouch and play the flute, but only in this direction, and say these magic words, and you need to do it in the right order, blah, la da da, stupid, whatever. So I do it. But for some reason, when I screwed up playing the flute once, so I'm like, all right, I need to do this again. So there really wasn't a big consequence to playing the flute wrong to resurrect Gale, so I just pulled the flute out again to play it, but then my character got stuck in the flute playing animation. It just stopped. I'm like, like no button that I pressed, nothing. I swapped characters and swapped back, still stuck in the animation. I reloaded the game, like still stuck on that animation. No matter what, turned it off, rebooted, like everything that I did, my character was like permanently frozen in that thing. So the only other thing I could do was go into my previous save, which was a full like hour and a half prior to that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, no. So again, like,
That sucks so
yes.
much. I'm sorry.
Like I said, if I'd made a stupid decision and I didn't save right beforehand, fine, it's my fault. But the fact that it's just because it just glitched, this was probably the biggest glitch so far that I've had. The rest were a little like nuance, like nuisances. I'm just like, I'm sorry. This is too much. It's too costly. It's too frustrating. So I don't know. There's just a lot of funky things that go on with the game. I know the team did provide an update or a patch this week, but this happened after the patch. So I don't know. Just long story short is, it is a very rich game that you can easily sink hundreds and eventually maybe thousands of hours into. There are definitely a ton of opportunities and various ways you could play the game. So when it comes to a comprehensive role-playing game, great. I'm all in it for being one of the best RPGs of the year, but just when it comes to those glitches, I think it just ruined it for me supporting it as Game of the Year. So I still like it.
How many people have you had sex with?
One. Just one. I definitely thought it was going to be more graphic because everyone's like, ooh, you can... I better be careful. My son's still awake. You can do this, this, that, and the other thing.
You chose your own genitalia, so clearly...
Yeah, I thought I was going to be able to see some rocking and whatever, but no, it kind of cuts out when whatever. You might see a boob or a whatever.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand that. How is it you can see body parts, but then like when paramour scenes happen, like nothing.
Well, yeah. So my first character, my intent was not to romance this character. So I'm playing as a male drow. I don't know why. Just for me, I don't know why I gravitate towards male or male appearing characters. I was actually on the fence on romancing one of the popular characters, Astarion, because he's just a really fun elf dude, and this tiefling devil chick. But this woman, I forgot what species. See, I'm not really that like. I'm still not the best in it, but Lae'zel, she's a fighter. She's a dominating personality, strong character. I was like, I really didn't think about romancing her, but the option came. She was the first person to get that option. So I'm like, well, let's get this going. So I romanced her, and she showed up one night, and she was very hardcore. But so what they showed is like they showed her naked. So we saw her whole naked body. You went down on her, but you didn't see it. Then she went down on you, but you didn't see it. And then it kind of like you see your hands, and she's taking your hands. Like you don't like that. Yeah, you don't see it. And then it cuts to black, and then shows your character in the morning. Oh, you're so exhausted from a whole night of lovemaking. I'm like, come on!
Larian were cowards. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's
Either that, or they really just did not know how to animate that stuff, and they didn't want to pay mocap.
Maybe. I did walk in
You're gonna
on
put those little golf balls on somebody's penis.
I mean, come on, man. Mass Effect happened how long ago, and we saw stuff.
We didn't see that much in Mass Effect.
I did.
We saw more Mass Effect than what Stephanie's describing in Baldur's Gate.
Really?
No.
No.
We didn't see any.
I know. I saw
body parts.
I know. I saw some butt cheeks. I know. I saw some. I remember seeing that.
I remember seeing rolling around.
I mean, maybe.
I remember Witcher 2 and seeing Triss naked right in the beginning.
Yeah.
You got that nice fiery red patch going.
Jesus Christ.
Well, maybe full frontal is the big deal then. I don't know why, but the hype leading up to the game made it seem like I was going to actually be seeing action, but I'm not disappointed by it. I don't know why I had that expectation.
Well, no. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm expecting full frontal, but like if you can build when you're building a character and you see all the details and all that stuff, you kind of expect that I'm not saying you need to see explicit stuff when like you get to the love making scenes and whatnot and stuff like that, but the whole like what. It's the cutaway shots and stuff like that. It's like, what was the point in like putting all this time and effort into making your character?
Well, I think that's it, right?
If all they're gonna do is show you nuanced stuff, you see something that looks like for example, they're about to go down on somebody, but you see the head go down, all of a sudden it fades to black, and then it's something else going on. It's like
Yeah,
and I'm not saying they need to like show the actual act or whatnot, but all I'm saying is like they can just throw a little bit more in there, and not like jerk our chain, I guess,
Yeah, because like even like the kissing scene was like really not that well animated. Again, based on expectations, when you build your character and you select the genitalia, I'm like, all right, they're full wild hog on this. Like the expectation you said is I expect to see some spicy stuff. Doesn't need to be the full thing like hentai or whatever, but it's just your typical like video game kissing where it doesn't really look like real kissing. So I wasn't like as engaged. So now I'm kind of like, all right, so when I, as a male, because my next character I'm going to attract will be another male, I bet you it's literally going to be like the same thing, because it's like, all right, I'm going to go down on this person, and they're going to go down on me, and then it's going to fade to black. Like, it's not going to be different. I think the only thing that'll be different is if you romance the bear person. I haven't gotten to that yet, that option yet.
Mm.
Anyway.
Oh, they're definitely not going to show you shit with the bear.
Well, there was a scene where I walked in on a goblin doggy styling a ogre, so like a tiny dude doggy styling a big woman ogre person. Unfortunately my son was in the room, but in this case there wasn't like any action. He was just standing there like and the ogre woman was really pissed that you walked in on them, so she decided that she tries to kill you for interrupting their session. So I did the right thing and killed them both.
Nice.
So yeah, sorry, went on and on about that. And, joking and poking aside, like I'm not in Baldur's Gate 3 just for the love-making scenes. I'm just in there to have an adventure. My favorite part of the game is the character development. I love getting to know the party members. It's very rich in that sense. But it's got enough glitches where I'm like, all right, well, the magic of it, no pun intended, is kind of gone.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I don't know. I still, man, the more and more I hear about this game, the more and more I have a hard time thinking it's going to win Game of the Year, just because how many people like start it and they think it's great, and then it gets too complicated and they don't even make it through Act 1.
Sounds like Sekiro.
Well, hold on. The panel of judges is over 120 different, media outlets. It ain't actual gamers that are fucking voting on this shit.
I know. Don't remind me, LeRon. Don't remind me. You know what we should do, LeRon? We should have a...
Don't say it. Don't you say it. Don't tease me like that. Do not. Do not. My heart can't take it tonight.
LeRon and
I
I
haven't
are
taken my medication yet.
LeRon and I are going to have a meeting about putting this together. So
The
A meeting. Yeah, we're gonna have. Yep.
okay.
yep.
We need to figure out what we're gonna call it though.
I was going to say, is there a reason why we're not calling it the BOSSIES?
It sounds weird.
Bossies.
Yeah, it sounds dumb.
It sounds weird.
The bossies.
It sounds like
Well, how about the
it
Rushies?
sounds like the award should be like a statue of a dominatrix or something.
It's like calling
With the writers cry.
it's like calling Nintendo Game of the Year the Ninnies. Okay,
Ninnies.
you know what my kids think ninnies are?
What?
Your nips. Okay. So,
Aw,
Honestly,
that's a cute nickname for ninnies.
yeah. It's funny. My son when we get him dressed after a bath, like when we go to put a shirt on, he's like, "Ninnies,"
Oh,
And then he's
so
like-
cute.
and he's like, "Tummy,
then-
ninnies." That's funny.
Oh, sweet little innocence.
Mm.
Yep.
Yep.
Do that as an adult, and people look at you kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. In about 15 years, he'd get arrested for that. Anyways.
That's why it's cute now.
Is that all, Stephanie?
Oh, that's it. Sorry, just the one game.
How's the Portal?
I love it. I think I just happen to be that right audience, the niche. My internet is good
I'd love
enough.
to try one out.
Never had a problem. It never crashed on me. The screen's perfect size. It feels good. It's light. Yeah, no problems. Love it.
That's
Honestly,
great. I heard it's very lightweight. I heard it's very
very light. That's what I love about it. And this is why I don't like the. I have an aversion to the Steam Deck just because of that. But at this point, my ratio between PS5 and Portal, like where I go, like I probably am 50-50, if not 60-40, leaning more toward the Portal.
Mhm.
It's very seamless.
Cool. I want the more I think about it, the more I just want a handheld device to play games on besides the Switch.
Oh, can I rave real quick about this is cheesy. That guy from like Doctor Strange where they do the circle thing.
Wong.
Yeah.
Wong. And then you see the alternate dimension in the circle and they walk through the circle.
Yeah.
That's what the Portal is. They have this circle.
Yeah,
And then-
I saw. Yeah, I
then,
saw that.
And then you see your screen and whoom, it's so cool.
Yeah, I saw it someone's whatchamacallit, like not unboxing. I swear to God, I hate unboxing videos. I do. I feel like they're the biggest. They're the biggest waste of time, but I also know that it's fucking nerd porn. I get it. I feel like, and honestly, me being a techie, I should be throwing unboxing videos on my channel and stuff like that. Just to get those follows and those views and stuff. But I hate fucking unboxing videos. I do. I would rather watch because for example, Digital Foundry, they would. I don't know if they've done anything on the Portal yet, but what they would do basically they would talk about the device, right? The aesthetics of the device, but then they get down to the brass tacks of what the deal is behind the hardware. And stuff
Right.
like that.
There's actual substance to it.
That's what I like. That's what gets the blood pumping for me.
Yeah. I also heard that you need to have your PlayStation plugged hardwired for it to work properly.
The
Who
PS5.
doesn't?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
doesn't?
I don't have any of my
doesn't?
consoles hardwired.
Who doesn't? I have a switch, as in an actual Ethernet Ethernet junction box. I have a switch in my room that actually that goes to my computer, my PlayStation, my computer, my PlayStation. There's 4 devices that it goes to.
Wait, are you
my Nvidia Shield TV.
Are you saying the Ethernet needs to be hardwired to the PlayStation?
Yeah.
No, that's not how mine is. My PS5 is wireless. My Portal is wireless, and no problems.
Huh.
How far away are you actually playing it? In relation to your PS5.
So far, I've only just been on at farthest, kind of halfway across the house.
Oh, Okay, so you haven't tested like PlayStation's in one corner of the house, and you're not in the other corner.
No.
Like those, that's the things I'm curious about, because like, when people turn around and say, yeah, like your PlayStation should be hardwired, like honestly, your PlayStation should be hardwired anyway. Why would you want to deal with that latency unless you have like a really hooked up ass router in your house, which like, I'm not judging people for what they have as far as internet equipment, but if you don't have a really hooked up router in your house, it gives like pinpoint signal and stuff like that, like you should definitely have your consoles hardwired.
It's good to know. I mean,
If you
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just want I was gonna say like if you have a PC in your house and the PC is on a dedicated line, then you should be doing that for your video game systems too. Because guess what, that bandwidth, that bandwidth will crush like a normal router.
Okay, good to know. I mean, I might eventually do that when I do, because I'm gonna have to transition this office to my game room, so everything will eventually be downstairs. So I do think that'll change things, because right now my PS5 is here in my office, and my office is like, kind of like in the middle of my house on the first floor. So no matter what end of the house, it's like not very far. So yeah, no, the only thing that is a quote unquote downside is just I will play for like 2 hours and I feel like I need to charge the battery. So
That's all these devices these days. I mean,
yeah.
the Steam Deck has pretty decent battery life, but I mean, none of these things are hitting like what the Nintendo Switch does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
Who next?
LeRon's next.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's about more of the same for me, but like I'm still playing Dead Space Remake. I'm at the point now where every time I do play it, because it's not like I'm playing it every day. Every time I do play it, I basically play a chapter. So like right now, I'm more than halfway through the game. I think I'm on chapter 9. Yeah, so I'm a little more than halfway through the game right now. And like I said last time, yeah, like I'm loving hearing how psychotic like Isaac is getting on this second run now. It's wild. Like it's an experience. So yeah, I can tell people play Dead Space twice. At least play Dead Space twice. Beat it and play New Game Plus and have fun with it. But I went back to the world of Monster Hunter. I went back to Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Yeah, not Rise, not Sunbreak, Iceborne, because like, well, no, I just missed some of the creatures that were in that game. But yeah, I also had to realize that like the gameplay that I was doing in Rise and Sunbreak is not the same gameplay in Iceborne, which is wild, because like Sunbreak and Rise and Sunbreak are like evolutions of like the Iceborne and World's gameplay style. But the major difference is that they had to, because the game was originally built for the Nintendo Switch and stuff like that, they had to change the experience, because the experience in Monster Hunter World and Iceborne is more and more nuanced than it is in Sunbreak, and it's crazy to say it's more nuanced, because like there's more stuff you have to learn, and not saying that like Rise and Sunbreak are easy mode. There's more stuff you have to learn. So I'm stuck in that thing where I was like, man, like I'm doing this shit, and oh, that's right, it's a Sunbreak thing. It's not a World thing. And this is kind of why I don't go back and play older Monster Hunter games, especially when I like Rise and Sunbreak so much that like when I officially did retire from Iceborne, and that's on me, but I am one of those people, like, it's hard to play an old game, and especially it's hard to go back to an older Monster Hunter game. It doesn't matter if it's the legacy games, so it's basically Monster Hunter 1 through 4, including Generations, or if you're playing like Generation 5, which is Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, and Monster Hunter Rise and Sunbreak. I just have a hard time going back playing an older game, in the Monster Hunter series, because there's mechanics and things that change, and I get so used to playing like the newer style, because I'm one of those people, like, I evolve as Monster Hunter evolves. So like, if you were to throw my favorite Monster Hunter game at me now, which is Monster Hunter Portable Third, if you threw that at me now, I'd be like, man, what am I doing? And Portable Third is the game I played the most out of all the Monster Hunter games I played. Like I mean, like the clock stopped moving.
Aww.
How long I was playing that game. Yeah. But yeah, I miss Iceborne though. it's not like I can't believe that I'm saying that, but I actually miss Iceborne. Now, of course, there's like the whole like anime stuff of like Rise and Sunbreak is just way too fun to like completely give up and stuff like that. And I I don't know, for somebody like me who's like a hardcore Monster Hunter player, I don't understand like the argument between Ice what World versus Rise, because I feel like honestly they're the same game. There's just different mechanics to the games and stuff like that, you know.
Mhm.
But I think ultimately a lot of these people are just stuck on the graphics. They're stuck on the graphics and stuck on some other things. Even though I can give you some technical talk about like the difference between Rise and Sunbreak and World and Iceborne. I can give you, because there's things in the game that, you know, like obviously like the Switch didn't have the resources to do it. So there's things that they had to change, like ecologies and all that stuff. But I'm not gonna bore you out the details. We'll just wait for me to revive the Hunters for Hire show, and I'll talk about Monster Hunter all the time then.
Nice.
But that's everything for me.
All right.
I guess it's Pat's turn.
That's right. I played monsters as well, but a different kind of monsters. Dragon Quest monsters. The Dark Prince.
Boo.
Boo!
I'm not a Dragon Quest fan. In all honesty, like I haven't played a Dragon Quest game since they were on the Nintendo, the NES.
Ooh.
You do know
Back when they were called Dragon Warrior for the United States. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, you do know they've come quite a long way since then.
Oh, I know, and I've attempted to play the newer games. I just did not like them.
Huh.
But
Well,
it's also because like JRPGs just don't hit the buttons for me anymore.
Well, how are you liking this one?
this one is pretty fun. I would say this is probably the best Dragon Quest Monsters game yet.
Okay.
This game takes place before the events of Dragon Quest IV. Now, normally these Dragon Quest games aren't completely tied together. Like, you may have some that are like 1 through 3, it was technically a trilogy, and then 4 through 6 kind of had the same themes going on. And then everything else was just like its own separate thing. But the spin-offs tend to be tied to at least one of the games. And this one's tied to number 4. Funny, I think actually the original Dragon Quest Monsters was also tied to 4. I'm trying to remember which game Terry was in. I don't know. But in this game, you played the Dark Prince Sorrow, who is the main antagonist of Game 4.
Ooh, I like that premise.
Yep. Sorrow is a half human, half monster. His dad is the king of monster kind, and his mom was a human. Not sure how that worked out, but, it did. And you have Sorrow. But being a monster, his dad just kind of left and did his own thing, and Sorrow was raised by his very sickly mother, and who tried to instill him with strong values of being a human, and saying, hey, people are going to despise you, or humans are going to despise you because you're not quite human. Monsters are going to despise you because you're not fully monster. So there's a little bit of that racial or the biracial theme going on there. And the events lead Sorrow deciding that he wants to kind of take revenge of his, I guess, how he grew up and his mother's like illness. He wants to go to his father and, kind of get revenge for the lifestyle that his father left them in. And his father ends up cursing him so that he cannot raise a sword against monster kind. So that is the premise behind Dragon Quest Monsters, is that now, because you can't fight monsters by yourself, you have to become a monster tamer and have monsters fight on your behalf.
Oh. I like that backstory to explain that.
Yep. And the idea is he's going to raise the strongest monster so that he can eventually overthrow his father in the Monster Kingdom. And that's the premise. This game has over 500 monsters that you can have in it, and it's very much in that like Pokemon sense where you find them out in the wild and you battle them. You can entice them into your party by giving them treats while you fight them, and as well as showing them force, which it's just kind of like little power flash and like, are you impressing the monster with your show of force? It's sometimes they will agree to join your party. Other times they'll just get really mad and start hitting you. But the idea isn't that you find these monsters and train them. The real power of this game comes with finding the monsters, breeding them with other monsters to make even more powerful monsters. Because the children of the monsters actually get boosted stats. They get more skill points when they level up, as well as you can mix and mingle traits from the other monster families that you have, that you bred them with. So that's the idea. Once they get to level 10, you can basically breed them with other monsters, and the game allows you to kind of pick and choose. Like, if there's different kind of offsprings that they can have, you can usually choose which offspring you want the monster to be. So it's a very simplified breeding system. The monsters are ranked from G to X, and G being the lowest, X being like super supreme, godlike. And that's kind of how you judge whether or not you have a good monster is, the G ones you find in the beginning, but eventually, like, you'll find the Fs and then the Es, and, so on and so on. There's also a little bit of strategy with how you devise your team. You can have 4 monsters out at once, unless they are large monsters, in which case you can have up to 2 large monsters, or 4 small monsters, or a mixture of 1 large and 2 small. So, you get a little bit of fun with developing your team. Now, in terms of the actual characters that this story has, the characters are a little bit on the grating side, and very anime tropish, sadly. But Sorrow's cool, but he's the silent protagonist, which is kind of weird because he's very clearly talking and explaining things to people, but he's silent.
I was gonna say, I don't know if that's the most ideal premise for a silent protagonist.
Yeah. So that's Dragon Quest Monsters. It's great so far. I'm loving the worlds. They range anywhere from like fiery infernos to like worlds made of cake and chocolate and candy. So it's got a variety of its environments. Graphically, though, it's not a pretty game. Like, the sceneries are nice, but this game looks like something from the early PS3 days.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But the game's not about the graphics. It's about catching monsters, fighting them, and, evolving. Not evolving, but breeding them to make more powerful monsters.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And in that case, the game succeeds. The other game I've been religiously playing is I'm still playing Persona 5 Tactics, or Persona 5 Tactica. I'm actually literally on the very last battle of the game, which I will probably beat, depending on how long these podcasts run. Otherwise, I'll probably get it done tomorrow before the video game awards.
Woohoo! All right.
But let me tell you, the game started off kind of like, I wasn't fully impressed with it when I initially got it, like started playing the game. Like, it was cool seeing the cast of your Persona characters and like seeing their personality shine again. But the game really gets, like, the story really gets good. I would say by the end of the first kingdom that you're in, but that's almost 20 battles into the game. Because the game introduces two new characters. You have this woman revolutionist fighter named Irina, and she's spunky. She's got this like full fire determination, runs into battles. And then they also introduce a politician named Toshiro, and he's kind of like the more cowardly of the people. He's judgmental to begin with. You just kind of like, oh, this is the kind of adult that the Phantom Thieves usually end up fighting because I don't know. He doesn't have a good impression of the Phantom Thieves to start with, but let me tell you, his story, like, he evolves as a character, and by the end of the story, he's probably one of the coolest, not the coolest, that still goes to Joker, but he's got, like, his story is incredible, and just seeing the growth from kind of being the spineless coward that runs at first sight, being the one that's like kind of leading the whole group and like, being the moral support is it's very incredible. It definitely brings back a lot of the vibes that I got from playing Persona 5 and reminds me that these are games about characters. Like, it's their growth and just their interactions with one another is on a completely different level that you don't really see in other games, and that's what this game means to me. Like, it's just incredible. The story is terrific, and I would recommend anyone to try it. But as I said in the last time I talked about it, you really kind of need to know what happened in Persona 5. Otherwise, one, it's going to spoil the events of Persona 5, and two, you're not going to get the full like enjoyment of these characters because you didn't see them grow in the original game. Because the Phantom Thieves, they don't really grow much in this game. It's more about the other two characters, Irene and Toshiro.
Okay.
But it's still a very great story. If you played Persona 5, there's almost no reason not to play Tactica.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And then for one day, I played Fallout 76 because I saw the Fallout trailer and I was like, I really want to play some Fallout.
Nice.
And so I re-downloaded that, and I haven't played that game in several years. Back when I first played Fallout 76, they did not have NPCs in the game. So I started over, and it's a completely new game. There's NPCs now on the field. Their story quests already are like you can interact with them while trying to complete the main story that the game with no NPCs had, and they kind of like also like work together, both those storylines. So it's fun. I still kind of wish it wasn't online, but I will say the people that were online were very nice. I feel like that community tends to see people who have level 1 as, let me give you some of the best loot I have. Here is a whole bunch of armor that's going to let you carry so much more equipment, and here's a really good weapon to start you off with. So, like, there's a very nice community there. I wasn't griefed at all. Like, once they gave me their stuff, they kind of went on their own way. And
that's nice. That's refreshing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean it. I don't know if I fully would say Fallout 76 is great. It's a Fallout game for sure. It definitely checks off all the Fallout check marks. I feel like the game though is a little too open, and there's not like enough dungeons or places to go out and explore, like to go check out and explore, kind of like the more enclosed environments of Boston or Washington D.C. or New Vegas. But it's still a fun game, and I don't know. They just actually dropped a new expansion where you go down to Atlantic City, so there's plenty of content there. It still though feels like it was meant to be played with more than one person versus solo. And I still kind of like that solo experience.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And that's me.
Nice. Well, I suppose we should get into topics, but before we do, Video Game Book Club. Here are your choices for February. So if you're a $5 patron or higher, you can vote for a Video Game Book Club every month. We vote 2 months ahead, so it's December, so you will be picking February's game. Right now, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, Gears of War, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and Grand Theft Auto 5 are the 5 choices. So,
Interesting.
right now, Uncharted is
like
winning.
a dragon.
Uncharted Drake's Fortune is winning?
Yeah,
Oh my.
by 1 vote. So,
I'm about to run to the site and make you win by 2 votes.
Your patronage is welcomed. So yeah, if you go to patreon.com/boss-media, it is the pinned post on the Patreon. So you can, if you are a $5 patron, you can vote for that. All right. Speaking of Grand Theft Auto, we should probably talk about this this little game that they announced this week. This week, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's already beat as the most watched trailer, right? It beat the Zelda trailer and I think something else pretty big.
It beat it out in 48 hours. It out viewed the Grand Theft Auto 5 launch trailer over 12 years.
So,
which is
that's insane.
crazy.
How does that even happen?
I don't know. People are excited for Grand Theft Auto, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But
I know one person who isn't.
Oh, let's not bring him into this. I'll tell you, his name rhymes with Schmed. Schmedward Schmarmel.
Why does he hate popular shit? Is it just his way of being ironic?
You're gonna have to ask him, man. I don't know. I can't figure it out. I've known him forever, and I just stopped trying to figure it out. But first of all, before I'm going to answer first, I think this trailer looks great. They're returning to Vice City. What's the protagonist's name? Lucia is the protagonist.
That's one of them.
It looks really great. I think the fidelity is very good for an open world game that's only on consoles. I'm excited to return to Vice City. I think I wonder if they're gonna play this. We're gonna rob these liquor stores and convenience stores up to we're gonna go all the way and rob somebody. I don't know, but there are 2 protagonists, but they are definitely featuring the female protagonist in this trailer, and I think it looks great. I didn't finish 5. The last one I finished was 4. The last one I really loved was Vice City, which ironically we're going back to. So I mean, what do you guys think? Stephanie, I'm going to go your way first. I know you said this might be your first Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I never played a Grand Theft Auto game. I just feel like timing wise, given how sheltered I was, and also I too have a strange aversion to popular stuff. I don't know why. I like to be contrarian, or maybe because I never was the popular kid, I now just automatically hate things that are popular because I never was a popular kid. That's why I really hated Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite. Just on pure principle that the masses loved it, but now I've actually warmed up to Minecraft. I'm loving how my son loves it. Still don't like Fortnite, but I do like the new changes that they're going to be adding to it. I think that's actually awesome. But anyway, so between all that, I just never got into GTA, and I'm like, oh, it's a video game made for punk men that want to be punks. I didn't feel like it was a very female friendly game, which is kind of ironic because I'm a tomboy. Long story short, love the trailer. I kind of love how they incorporate it, make some bits look like you're actually watching a TikTok video or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it's very current, looks great. And this is where I'm like, yes, I'm willing to jump in and give GTA a shot. And I'm going to start with 6. So I'm feeling good about it.
Well, 5 is on Game Pass, but I actually think 4's story is really great. It's about immigrants coming to the country to make the Nico and
the American dream.
Yeah, and his cousin, right? That's like the big joke. They've come from either Russia or the Ukraine to make a better life for themselves.
They are actually Serbian.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to definitely check it out then.
Yeah, play. I think that one, out of all of them, I think that one has the most quote unquote serious story.
Mhm.
I think it's probably one of the better stories from the games that I've played. And then the 2 DLC packs, the Ballad of Gay Tony, I hear, is like the best Grand Theft Auto game they've ever made, which is one of the DLC packs. And then The Lost and the Damned is about a motorcycle gang. Those are both DLCs for 4.
Well, I
It
mean,
was good.
it's hard to turn down anything when you've got Game Pass, right? It's like, oh man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually just downloaded 5 because I never finished it, and I'm wondering, since it was an Xbox 360 game, let's all remember that. I wonder the Xbox One and Xbox Series versions, and obviously the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 versions. I wonder what the quality of life things.
It's shinier.
Yeah,
It is definitely shinier when they upgraded it to PS5. Like it's more of a high quality game again, like it was on a PC.
Cool. So Pat, what do you think?
You know what? I am excited to see where they're going to go with this game. Like Stephanie noticed, the social media seemed to have played a very big part in this game, and I'm wondering how they're going to incorporate that.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to like maybe rise into stardom, or like I want to kind of know what is the story behind it. You seem to be a person who's Lucia seems to come straight out of jail. So clearly they're looking for money, and they're probably trying to figure out like how do we survive. Like I don't know, do they do TikTok videos? Do they go and start like robbing things? Do they go into the drug trade? It's Vice City. Anything can happen.
The whole thing is just a influencer simulator.
Mm-hmm. But they took a lot of care into this trailer. Like I've seen like various videos like noticeable like points, and they did a very good job in re-imaging Miami. Like they took a lot of famous landmarks and incorporated it into the game. They've taken things like the Florida Keys, even just like this little blimp that was flying just over the Florida Keys is a very famous blimp that it's trying to find that tries to stop drugs from passing over into America. Like they put a lot of detail in building up the Florida culture in this video. They've also taken very influential, like I guess, memes from Florida and incorporated that into the trailer. There's a lot of like fun humor that they still showed. Things like Weasel News is back. I think they showed a sign in the convenience store where it says something about you have to wear underwear and able to shop. You know. Then there's other things where it's like the guy's wrestling an alligator out of his pool, or
Florida man.
Yeah, the Florida man, or the was it? Shoot, I'm trying to remember what they actually call their fictional Florida. So it was like
starts with an L.
Leon.
Yeah, I forget too.
I thought it was Leon something. Leondia or something. Leonia? No. Leonida?
Let's see. I'm looking it up. Great. I looked it up, and all it has is like a Florida man thing.
As a Florida man. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Just tell me where it takes place, guys.
But I think we're going to be very impressed with this game. It looks like they have put a whole lot of thought into it, and not just like, hey, we're going to churn out another Grand Theft Auto, but we're going to try and at least make it as culturally significant to our times, because a lot has happened in 10 years since the last Grand Theft Auto. They were just like, last one was just kind of in the era of the smartphone, and now we're like in the era of the social media, and we'll see how like it goes from there. Also, people think that the second protagonist might be voiced by Troy Baker because he kind of sounded like it.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. He's in everything.
Yep.
LeRon, what did you think of it?
Oh, I enjoyed the trailer. It's really glitzy, it's really flashy. I loved how they just incorporated all that stuff that we've seen on our real life social media into that trailer. Because like I was like, wait a second, I remember that whole thing about the chick twerking on the car.
Mm-hmm.
and then when I saw like a comparison video, and it was showing like where all this stuff came from, like that the guy with all the face tattoos, like like having his court hearing and all that stuff. I was like, oh my god, like the developers leaned heavy into Florida shenanigans. Let's put it that way.
Or as the game calls it, the Leonida shenanigans.
There are some there's some real twerking physics in that game. Oh my god!
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, it looks impressive. I'm looking forward to playing it. Like I played every Grand Theft Auto that was new since GTA 3. I didn't like the original, like the first 3 Grand Theft Autos.
The top-down ones.
You didn't like Vice City or San Andreas?
No, he's talking about 1, London, and 2.
1, 2, and 3. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people
those. Yeah, the original ones, the OG ones. Yeah. I didn't like them. I felt like there was nothing to those games really. But when GTA 3 came out and the world basically was like it was basically open world, in sandbox technically, but
Mm-hmm.
Just the whole like change in just the scope of how you played the game and stuff. Like every Grand Theft Auto that came out after that, I at least tried them out and everything. I haven't beaten a single GTA game that I've started. Just because the games get boring for me, but for the most part, like I definitely will be checking this out when it does come out. Like I would love if they would put it out on PC about the same time put it on consoles, but I already know like Take-Two and Rockstar are some bastards, so the game won't be out for PC until 2 years later, if we're lucky.
I bet it's a year later. That modding scene for GTA 5 is too big for them not to put it on PC. Plus, they bought that.
Possibly.
They bought one of the teams that mods for GTA 5. So,
what do you guys think
Possibly,
of the fact that this kind of got ruined? The trailer got ruined by someone leaking it. Not that it's a surprise, but
I mean,
it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks, especially because I saw a lot of the developers tweet out like, I wanted to share this moment with my team. This was this was an amazing, feat, and but also 2K has been hacked like 2 or 3 times before, so it doesn't surprise me. Also, it's 2023 and shit gets leaked all the time, so also it doesn't surprise me.
Like these companies need to have tighter security. That's all I'm going to say, because CD Projekt Red is like, as far as I know, is like they're like the masters of like PC stuff, and even they've gotten hacked and had shit leak. So if CD Projekt Red can get hit, and Nintendo's getting hit all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I saw someone say this in Twitter, and it kind of makes like a lot of sense. People who think that they're leaking this information, they think they're doing the world a favor, but really they're just the guy that's standing out in the theater spoiling the movie that people are going to go see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I agree.
I would agree with that. Like if they do like they've been doing the Sony lately with like the Last of Us games and God of War and all that stuff. If they're actually giving plot points and details, like because how many games have been seriously leaked like that? Like an Uncharted game was leaked like that. Practically all the new Naughty Dog stuff has been fucked up because of that shit. A couple of BioWare projects were fucked up because like people gave actual like plot point details about a game that was still in development and stuff like that. Cyberpunk also had that situation. A couple of Capcom games had that. Like in situations like that, I will say yes, I agree with that statement. But like leaking a trailer like a day early, I don't think that's the same. I don't think that's the same
But
offense.
it's that the person's stealing the thunder.
Yeah.
Of Take-Two.
Honestly, it really didn't matter because in all seriousness, like the views that person got for the leak, it's been eclipsed like 19 times over by the actual reveal trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I play devil's advocate all the time, and I feel like in this situation, nothing really got hurt. Rockstar's bottom line didn't get hurt. Yeah, like looking at the testimonials from the actual developers, the people who had the boots on the ground and stuff. Yeah, that shit sucked for them, and my heart goes out for them and stuff like that. But in all honesty, if we look at right now, hold on. If we look at right now, like how many fucking views does this trailer have? Come on.
100-something million.
I know when I looked at it the next day, it reached 69 million people.
I just had this damn thing. I just had this thing loaded up. Shit.
Yeah,
this thing has over 114 million views as of right now. As on this recording, over 114 million views. Whew. Trust me, that leak didn't hurt anything for this.
Yeah. The thing too is like I think I would have felt way worse for them too if they hadn't announced the trailer was coming. Yeah. Also, right? Like they did announce like, hey, early December.
Yeah, they announced it like two weeks ago. And gave people speculation that it was going to be at the Game Awards, or it was going to be the day before the Game Awards, the day after the Game Awards. Like they play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yep. Oh man!
Now that's announced, can that officially be considered one of the most anticipated titles in the game?
Oh, it's going. It's for real going to get like most anticipated award.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, they already mentioned the nominations, and Grand Theft Auto wasn't announced before those nominations.
Yeah,
which it would be funny to be like,
no, for this year it's fucked.
Yeah. I'm just saying, though, it'd be funny if they took the category and be like, well, we're just going to enter this last one here, Grand Theft Auto 6. And the winner is 6.
Yeah, the game comes out in 2025, so it's going to get a most anticipated award next year.
Oh, definitely.
I can't wait to poll our listeners and viewers and see what they might vote for the most anticipated.
Unless they say Elden Ring 2. Which they won't.
Well, that DLC hasn't come out yet. They're going to announce the DLC at the Game Awards. I don't think that's the worst kept secret for Elden Ring.
But also a Kojima title, considering they haven't announced that Kojima is going to be at the Game Awards, but Kojima has posted a video of him flying to.
Yeah, right, dude. Jeff Keighley has knee pads with Kojima's name on them. Okay, he's going to be there.
Well, I checked the tweet out where Kojima was flying, and Keighley safe travels, friend, wherever you're going.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Really?
Yeah. Well, Kojima Productions working on 2 games, right? So they had Death Stranding 2, which was DS2, shown last year, and then they have Overdose for Xbox that they have not shown yet.
Okay.
Which has Elle Fanning, and there's a bunch of people supposedly in that game, including the same character who is in Death Stranding, the woman. I forget who the actress is, but she's supposedly in it too.
Fragile Lee Sado.
I don't know what her name is. Pass. But yeah, I mean, Kojima will be there, right? I assume.
Yep.
So,
who else is going to be there?
Who?
Stephanie knows who else is going to be there.
I also call them the old gods of Asgard. What are they actually called? The
Poets of the Fall.
Poets of the Fall.
Yep.
Do you think they'll just play, or do you think they're going to do the whole...
The band that's in Alan Wake, LeRon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, what? Huh?
They have to be doing the whole...
number.
Sam Lake has got to be there. They'll probably get... they're going to have to do the dance. And Jeff Keighley will have to dance with them.
Yeah.
Did you guys see?
I bet that. Shit. Dead ass. I'm pretty sure Jeff Keighley is a person that does not know how to dance.
Oh, trust me. Neither did these actors. The dance is very,
bad.
sad looking.
It's
but
intentionally
it's
bad
hilarious.
looking. Yeah.
Did you guys see the side-by-side pictures of all the Vice City 2002 versus the
Yeah,
GTA 6?
Yeah,
all the landmarks.
yeah, it's wild.
Dude, it's so crazy. Oh man. I'm really excited for 6. I loved Vice City. I love the soundtrack of Vice City too.
I say it did have a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
The game was hard as hell, but
Yeah.
it had a good
Yeah,
soundtrack.
too bad you can't experience the original soundtrack anymore, like in these remastered.
Oh, it's all the
You gotta
licensed
buy
stuff,
this-
right? Yeah.
You got to
Yeah,
buy the
it's
13
licenses.
CD the box set, LeRon.
Yeah,
You can listen to
does
Laszlo
PS2?
Radio. You know, the hits of the 80s, including like 5 Michael Jackson songs.
Wow.
it's something about hearing those songs in the game, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's something about that, man. Because like jumping in the damn radio, jumping in the car and like hearing like "Beat It" on the radio or "In the Air Tonight," and like, oh my god, like it was an experience.
Yeah. You can play the original GTA 3 trilogy on your current platform of choice with AI updating or whatever they did with it. Anyway. So the other what else were we going to talk about? Sony? Were we going to
Fallout.
talk about the Sony stuff? Or
I thought we were going to talk about Fallout.
I'm sitting on a list here.
I mean, we can do whatever, I guess. By the way, speaking of Sony, before we get into the Fallout stuff, since you guys want to talk about the Fallout stuff, did you see the reason why Bungie laid off so many people?
No.
It was supposedly to avoid its total Sony takeover because they missed their margins by so much.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that came out today.
So
No,
because
I
they
did not- I did
mismanaged
not see
themselves and their parent was like, okay, we need to fix you, they decided to completely get rid of their staff?
I guess.
Smart.
Yep. Here's the article on IGN. I'm going to put it in the chat so you guys can see it whenever.
Yeah, I'd like to read that. That's wild.
Here's the title. Bungie devs say atmosphere is, quote, soul-crushing amid layoffs, cuts, and fear of total Sony takeover. The Destiny 2 and Marathon developer may not be able to cling to the last of its independence forever.
You know what? Okay. You know what? This is actually a good conversation topic because Corey, you're the Destiny guy here. What do you think went wrong?
I mean, it's a combination of things. I think
Okay.
I think overall, like with the game, it's with Destiny itself. You're saying, or with Bungie's kind of situation.
With Bungie's situation and Destiny over, we can the two aren't mutually exclusive I don't think.
I would actually say they are mutually exclusive until Marathon comes out, because this is their only product is Destiny. I would say probably 85 to 90% mutually exclusive, just because they are working on Marathon and 2 other projects. But I think the fact that the Witch Queen expansion was so great and the following seasons were so great, and they followed it up with Lightfall, which was, by fans' standards, one of like a bottom tier expansion. And then the following season wasn't great. Plus,
hold on, pause for a second. I don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah.
I'm reading this article right now.
Mhm.
They only laid off 100 people. Is that right?
Yeah, it was something like 108 people.
They're not that huge of a team. That's like a
They're-
tenth of their.
No, it's 1,200 people.
I mean, 1,200 people is
people.
a big team.
1,200 people. Yeah, 1,200 people. They only laid off 100 people. I thought the way the internet was reacting, I thought they cut like 40% of the workforce.
No, the reason that at least the Destiny community was acting that way is because they laid off a lot of people that actually
Were there at the beginning.
with the community and are part of the community, and they laid off most of their community managers. now all like it used to say like every week, like this week at Bungie comes out every week. It's called the TWAB, and there's like a whole meme thing around it. But like,
Don't say that ever again.
no, it's been a thing since Halo 2.
Don't say that ever again. If you don't want me to devolve into like a 12-year-old, don't ever say.
I'm gonna keep saying it. So every week the TWAB would be signed by one of the community managers because they are the ones that would write it. And now every week, don't worry, LeRon, it's worse than TWAB now because they have Marathon. So they changed it to TWID and TWIM. This week in Destiny and this week in Marathon. So it got worse, actually. But it used to be signed by the community manager who wrote it, and now it just says the Destiny 2 team. And you know, it's I get it. 100 people. I mean, those 100 people need to find jobs, and I feel bad that they lost their jobs. But on a 1,200 person team that didn't hit their financial goals on a year where a mediocre year for that game, plus a year where 15 to 20 amazing games came out, right? That's rough. But 100 people actually isn't that many considering the goals that they didn't hit and the size of their team. Like that's actually like 8% of their team. So
it's still the way they laid them off.
Oh, I know that was bad.
Oh yeah. No,
I'm not.
No one's going to argue. No one's going to argue about that fact. No one's going to do that.
It's still a very, very bad situation for everyone involved.
Yeah, because because we have a very destitute economy right now. Like these people because they have their skill set's almost too specialized. Like they might bounce back quickly, but they're still going to be on the bubble of like, hey, are we going to get let go again because of similar situations and stuff like that? Like these guys aren't just like IT guys where like they lose their job and they can immediately walk to another company and like pick up a new job and have job security all over again. Like right now the gaming the gaming landscape is fickle as fuck. And it's always been fickle as fuck. If we're going to be honest with you, like, you look back in the days, like, like Capcom shut down whole studios and stuff like that. And that's how we wound up with Platinum Games, Shinji Mikami Studio, all that stuff, it's always the landscape's always been fickle as fuck and stuff like that. But like, yeah. Now I'm veering because like I was asking Corey why he like what his opinion was and how we got to this point. But honestly, it's a gaming community problem as a whole. Because like they're throwing tons of money at games and stuff and giving like these wild ass development like costs and stuff like that. Like gaming now is a more expensive deal than Hollywood.
Yeah.
And look at what the hell Hollywood's going through right now.
Yeah.
Like shit. Like, like movies are flopping that, are doing, in my opinion, very, very well at the box office. But because I also have a different understanding about money, I also know that, hey, like if we have a $300 million budget and this movie only did like $450 million, it was a flop.
The Marvels. Look at that example right
Marvels
there.
is a wonderful movie too. That's the crazy part. Like I went and saw the Marvels and that movie was fucking awesome. There was nothing bad about that movie. Like I went and started looking at all the online remarks and stuff and I was like, y'all weren't watching the same goddamn movie I was. And this is not even me being a fucking fanboy. It was a good movie.
Yeah, but nobody liked Secret Wars either and we both did. Or Secret Invasion either and we both did.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, I mean back to the Bungie thing. The writing is on the wall for Destiny. Like everybody in the community sees the final shape as the perfect end point for them as a Destiny player. A lot of people, streamers, YouTubers.
So you're thinking like the community is going to like jump off of Destiny once the final one comes out? Like there won't be a Destiny. There won't be a Destiny 3.
I think there will be a Destiny 3. I think there'll be a Destiny 3 eventually, but the final shape is the end of a saga Like the Light and Dark Saga is ending with the final shape, and then they're starting. Like there will still be threads from Destiny open, like story threads open, and there's a lot of them, and we've discussed it on Tower Casuals. But like for the most part, what we know of Destiny is ending with the final shape after the raid comes out, which is the final story beat of this thing. And then they're coming out with episodes afterwards, 3 episodes, which is kind of like an intermediary type thing until they announce what's next. But a lot of people, like a lot of huge Destiny people, like Dado, he's like a weapon master. He's like, I'm done after the final shape. You know, creating like he's a Destiny YouTuber. That's his thing, and he's like, I'm done. And Gathalion, who's a big streamer also, like he's made his whole career off of Destiny, and like the last 3 or 4 years or so he's been diversifying his content and being like, Destiny's not going to last forever, and you know, I don't want to play it forever, so the final shape will probably be
like the last stop,
his final thing. And
that's,
you know,
I
even
would say that was not
weird.
his destiny.
Yeah, even
that's wild to hear people say that, because like I will never say that I am going to quit playing Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but those are new games. These aren't new games. This is the same game that's been going on for 10 years.
Well, and these are content creators, right? Like they're doing this for that versus enjoying.
They're going to switch to what's going to become more popular.
Okay,
Destiny's dying. They don't want to die on that ship.
I think what they're hoping for is that they're hoping people stay on and play, but I think they're also hoping that this is a great jump on point for people who have never played, and that we're going to transition into something which, you know,
hence that shitty ass $15 like community pack or whatever the fuck that was.
They took it off. The community reacted. They reacted so poorly to that like they were like, okay, we'll pull it from the store. We're sorry. Don't hate us. Yeah, but I mean, even Josh and I have talked about like what happens to Tower Casuals after the final shape, because you know, we've been playing this game for 10 years also, and I am really invested now, but I'm like, it's like the end game moment for the Avengers, right? Where like we've been building up to this for however long, and like I just want to see this end, and it ends in a nice place. It leaves story threads open, but it ends in a nice place, and I don't know.
Bingo.
And like we don't know if we're going to be as invested as we have been moving forward, you know, because it's an investment. Destiny is an investment, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. But in terms of Bungie, like with a lackluster kind of expansion, and a lot of people only jump in to play the expansion campaign and then they jump out, right? They're not grinding for the weapons or the armor or masterworking things or playing the seasons and, you know, going flawless in Trials of Osiris. Like a lot of people don't do that. They jump in, they play it like a Call of Duty or Halo campaign, and then they're out, right? And then they'll wait till the next release. And that happened a lot more this year than any prior expansion. So
it feels like it's the whole games as a service bubble.
It's that plus, you know, they pulled part of their team to go work on Marathon. Not everybody, obviously, but you know, a good chunk of their multiplayer team in particular, right? We haven't gotten a new multiplayer map. We got one this year, one new multiplayer map, but since then we hadn't gotten one in 3 years. A new one. We've had reprised ones from Destiny 1. You know, we've had like palette swaps of older ones, but like their whole multiplayer suite is like dead. Nobody wants to play it. Nobody wants to play it because there hasn't been anything new or challenging. And then another game mode, they said they're going to pull out after the final shape because nobody plays it. The game mode Gambit, which is like a PvPvE type mode, nobody plays it. And so, you know, Destiny's in an interesting spot. And if they don't get Marathon out before Destiny ends, honestly, or, you know, the final shape
there might
ends
be a
or whatever,
loss of interest.
There's not going to be, I mean, obviously they're going to keep Destiny going because it is a consistent revenue stream, you know, like even at the bottom of the barrel. Like it's still a revenue stream from them. And I think they're hoping Marathon takes off, and I think they're hoping their mobile game takes off, and I think they're hoping whatever Project Matter takes off. But like if one of these don't hit, right? Like that's why Sony bought them in the first place. They were in financial trouble. You know, they had all these plans and then they didn't make the money they were planning, and so they sold, and now they're definitely not making the money. Mm-hmm. On a year also where, you know, like I said earlier, like 10, 15, 20 great games came out and people wanted to play those.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, PvPers went to Halo and Call of Duty because Halo's on an upswing. People who want to play games with their friends went to Remnant. I know was a huge one that people went to over the summer. There's just other games that fill that need. Fortnite had a big resurgence. People jumped to that. Destiny's in a bad spot.
It's definitely like it's losing momentum.
Yeah. It's like negative momentum at this point. It's rough. I feel bad for especially the people that got laid off. I'm friendly with two of the people that got laid off. Mm. You know, I've known the one person since she worked at Game Informer. Like we've been friendly on Twitter and stuff, and like the other guy was you know, community manager of Destiny 1, and we became friendly, and now he was on Marathon and then got laid off. Like it's insane. So I feel really bad. And if Bungie, like if Sony like had a total takeover of Bungie and like it ended up going away, there would be a lot of sad people out there. Like,
oh yeah,
just because Bungie, and I'm sure you experienced this in the Monster Hunter community a little bit or a lot, LeRon, but like Bungie has one of the most active communities in the world. You know, like not just playing the game, but on message boards, on their website, buying their merch, you know, grinding to get their exclusive things and, you know, helping other players out. And it's just, you know, we've been doing that since Halo 2. Bungie.net. You sign up, you got your clan tag, you know, you can see your stats, character, everything. Like, it would be a real thing.
I know the Destiny people are going to come for me right now. Well, when I say this, but
whoa!
But in all honesty, it honestly feels like Destiny hasn't done anything to like keep it fresh. Because, like I said earlier, like in the earlier segment of the show, like from Monster Hunter 1 until Monster Hunter Generations, it was basically the same type of game. Of course, there was, but each game, like new iterations came out. Like they did stuff like from Monster Hunter 1 to Monster Hunter 2, like they expanded the weapons. Like you wound up getting 5 new weapon types. Monster Hunter 3 came out, and like it was on the Wii, which, you know, like I personally say that was a bad move, but, you know, like underwater combat got introduced, stuff like that. You know, they took that out immediately because like nobody liked that shit. Monster Hunter 4 came out, they introduced 2 more new weapon types, expanding the entire weapon type to 14 weapons at that point. You know, there's also stuff like gameplay styles changed, things of that nature. You know, like hunter arts showed up and things. You know, like so was there any like changes to Destiny over time that's similar to that? You know, in that degree. Like I'm just kind of like waxing the surface. You know, I'm not giving like Monster Hunter's like evolution a full deal, because like we get the world in Iceborne and Sunbreak and Rise, and, you know, like Monster Hunter's a completely different game now. Like it's no longer what it was back in 2004 when I first started playing it.
I mean, Stephanie, Pat, do you have any thoughts on the situation at all? I mean, I know you guys aren't really into like a game with a massive community. I mean, you know, like the way that Monster Hunter and Destiny are, but
yeah, unfortunately I don't have that experience to draw from, because I've been that antisocial single player type person. But I can only imagine putting myself in the shoes of being in a community like that and having that bittersweet moment of knowing like that's Destiny's heading towards kind of like the end of its season. I don't know. It's very complicated, because we're dealing with both the fans of the franchise and the developers and the whole financial situation and people getting laid off. So I know I'm just throwing out words, but I don't know. I just wish there was a way to kind of keep that going. And it makes me wonder, like, what's the secret sauce to keeping franchises going? Like, is it easier to keep a and I would think the answer is yes, a single player experience franchise going versus a multiplayer franchise going? I'm not sure. I mean,
It's got to evolve. That's the thing.
Yeah. Which is why eventually I think there will be a Destiny 3 because it has to evolve. It has to change at some point.
But will it come out in time for it to still have most of those players come back? And if not, will it get enough new players? Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I knew enough.
Yeah. I was reading an article by Paul Tassi, who does a lot of Destiny and games as a service type writing for Forbes. And he said, unfortunately, the one of the articles, it was just like an opinion piece when the layoffs happened. But he said, unfortunately, I think the answer is Destiny 3. Which, I think it's time to cut the strings from Destiny 2, to be honest. Which, first of all, they need a new engine. This is the Halo Reach engine that they're running Destiny off of. A very spaghetti string style engine to make things work. So they need a new engine. We've been using the same, a lot of the same gear and the way that we play the game since Destiny 1, right? Like, I think it's time for a Destiny 3, whether Destiny players want it or not. I think a clean slate will bring a lot of new players in and maybe draw the interest of a lot of old players who have issues with the current game, whether they're minor or large issues that they can fix. They wanted to do, how Fortnite does those live events just randomly. They wanted to do that with Destiny, but they just can't because of the way the engine works. Sometimes it takes them like 9 or 10 months just to update an issue with the game in some cases. And that's not
Destiny and Fortnite are like apples and oranges, though. They
I know,
Destiny
but
does not have a game mode that can compete like that.
I know. No, I'm saying like the story stuff that they release sometimes in Fortnite. But I mean, I do understand what you're saying though, Pat. But just the way the engine works, like all these story things that they wanted to do, like everybody gather in the tower and watch, the Traveler reawaken, was like the one moment everybody was like super excited, and we got to watch. Everybody watched it at the same time, and then the game would shut down because they were updating it for the next expansion or whatever. But that was a moment that everybody remembers, and they've only done that, and they haven't done it since. And that was 4 years ago at this point. So
I feel that we hang on to, or not we, but game companies are hanging on to games for far too long.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people really want the next Elder Scrolls. That's why Grand Theft Auto 6 is such a huge deal. It's like they milked these series for 10 years and then they wonder, why is it no longer popular?
Yeah.
It's because you haven't kept it fresh.
Yeah.
We enjoyed Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City.
They gave Grand Theft Auto 5 a nice refresh with GTA Online.
Yeah. I think there's a difference between GTA 5, though. Sorry, Pat, I didn't mean to cut you off from your thought, but I think there's a difference between GTA 5 Online, right? The online mode, which isn't, there's story in there, but it's not very story focused, right? It's an online game. Whereas things like World of Warcraft and Destiny are pretty story heavy, and every expansion that comes out, it gets harder and harder to get new players in, especially in Destiny's case, where they vaulted, 4 of the campaigns, which means you can't even access them anymore. And one of them is core to the final shape. The Forsaken campaign is absolutely core to, the character of Crow, and, one character, comes back and we don't know why, because he's supposedly dead because he died in this campaign. That's what the whole campaign is revolves around, is a revenge story. Like, and new players can't experience those because they're just gone. And even the
Why
seasons
the hell would they vault that? Like, not even Final
because they
Fantasy.
updated the engine, and they updated the engine, even though it's still the Reach engine. They updated it, and the way some of that stuff worked, they couldn't port to the updated engine because it just broke the game entirely. There's also like a story reason for it, but the real reason is that it just didn't port well, which they explained in the TWAB. But anyways, yeah, I just there's just a combination thing. That's why I think Destiny 3 is the answer. Long story short, is that it'll bring new people in. They'll be able to leave all this old stuff behind, and people will become interested again, I think. So anyway, Fallout trailer. Looks like
All right.
Fallout.
That's actually a really good observation. Like, you see a lot of trailers for video games, and it's like, how relevant is it to like the video game? But there are a lot of calls to Fallout for this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see things such as the Rad Roach. You see the Mr. Handies flying around. Just the whole environments. This really feels like it's a Fallout. Like, that the world is in Fallout. I think this is going to be a very good representation of what the game is.
Yeah,
And you got Walter Goggins
I don't know
as
who
the
that
very
is.
sexy ghoul.
I'll have to look
He's
him
the
up.
noseless cowboy.
No, I know that, but I don't know who Walter what'd you say, Walter Goggles?
I thought it was Goggins.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it looks very Fallout. I mean, you could the vault, the outfits, clearly dog meat's in there. Like, it's very clearly Fallout. It's I hope it's good, right? I mean, I know LeRon and I are in the minority here, but I really liked the first season of Halo, which is free on YouTube now, by the way.
Really?
Yep. They released the whole thing on Halo's YouTube channel, someone's YouTube channel. It's free to watch.
Okay. Wow. Well, I mean, like the trailer for the second season looks impressive.
I know. I can't wait for the second season, man. It's February 8th. First 2 episodes.
February 8th?
What about the trailer for the first
Oh, we need
season?
to. Oh, we need to rock.
Like,
we need to rock that recap show then, because we talked about that a while back, didn't we?
We did, and we will. I would really love to do that sooner than later. But yeah, I mean, what did you guys think of the Fallout trailer? Since we're on that at this point,
So I'll be quick because like almost with GTA, I've never played a Fallout game. But as soon as you guys shared the trailer, I'm all for it. I'm always ready and willing to jump into anything that I've missed out in the past. And, given a lot of the successful shows and movies based off video games in the past, this one looks great. Isn't this the one that is either produced or has people from Westworld, the people that made Westworld? So I'm like, I feel like this is going to be a great show. I will watch it. I forced my partner, who doesn't want anything to do with video games, to watch. I'm like, look at this! Look at this! This takes place in a post-apocalyptic world, and it's based off a video game, so you have to watch it with me. So I'm very excited. So I know that's not really a very helpful contribution, but coming from someone who's never been exposed to the series, I'm excited to watch it. And based off of what Pat said, where it looks like it's taking place like not in a previous Fallout game and potentially a future Fallout game, I think is a smart idea.
Yeah, I think the production value is there for sure. I think they are taking a lot of care, at least of the source material, it seems. LeRon, what did you think of it?
It looks very nice. I mean, like it actually looks like the world of Fallout. It does. So obviously Amazon's throwing some money behind it, and I don't know a lot about Fallout post like Fallout 3 at this point because I didn't play Fallout 4. I didn't play Fallout 76. Thank God. You know.
Had to go about saying,
So
"Oh, it's Fallout."
well, I mean, and also, but Fallout 3 is the only Fallout game that I actually had experience with, and like I played the Game of the Year edition back on PS3.
Three is still probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what comes out of it, but I'm excited just to see how they produce it. I'm not so much excited because of the content.
Mm-hmm.
Now that being said, now I'm pretty sure like if they do it right, I'm probably gonna learn to love it.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it brought people into the Fallout universe. Like,
It
if
might
Steph
bring me
loves
into
it,
it.
I'm definitely going to push number 4 heavily on you because that is Boston.
Okay.
I mean, since we're not getting another Fallout game for like 10 years, I mean, might as well watch the show, play the old ones. I would also recommend New Vegas, which I hear is really good too.
It's good. It's made by Obsidian.
Yep.
It's slightly different feel. Like, it's definitely more open. You had Matthew Perry as one of the antagonists.
Oh,
Well.
rip.
It has Fisto, the sex bot.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Fisto. Okay.
Yep. Where you get to test the merchandise before you give them to the person that is looking for him.
Oh, wow. Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Love good old Fisto. Oh, and dog meat. Ah, yeah. That was a great part of that trailer.
Yeah.
Seeing dog meat, like,
Carrying someone's
kill the
arm or
radroach
something.
and like carrying someone's like wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah. They heard
It
dog
looks-
meat. I'm going to rage.
A lot of video games. This week is it's pretty video game heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Excited. So we had questions, but they all revolve around the Game Awards, and they're going to be over by the time this comes out. So
let's answer them anyway.
Okay, hold on. Let me get
Or
to the Discord, and we had one from on Twitter also. So the Discord question was from, oh my gosh, what is this? So David Lasby asked about one of the Boss Rush banters. Walking Sims deserved recognition at the Game Awards. He thought what we thought. He asked what we thought about that. I also think they do, but I don't think enough walking sims come out that are quote unquote popular every year that would warrant this type of category. So I wonder if they just kind of fit them into like the adventure category, like the point and click adventure type category, and they would kind of merge those the way they do sports and racing games.
Yeah, it would either be adventure or if it's a small quote unquote enough studio, maybe an indie. So, which is kind of unfortunate because I do feel like when I say niche, I mean it in a most complimentary way. Like it's definitely more on the needle points more toward niche than popular, like you said, enough to have its own category.
Yeah.
I mean, you might also see it in Best Impact. Like, I would consider a Space for the Unbound to be kind of a walking sim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe even Cocoon. Well, Cocoon's more of a puzzle, but yeah.
What do you think, LeRon? He's thinking.
I think I was not the right person to ask this question. Walking Sims don't do it for me like it does for everybody else. Like you guys throw me some names of some of y'all's favorite walking sims, and I'll let you know what I think.
Firewatch.
Firewatch, excellent game.
Gone Home.
Never heard of it.
What Remains of Edith Finch.
Liked it. I liked it.
Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
That I'm kind of mixed about that one.
But those are the big ones that I can think of.
Those are the big ones?
Yeah, I think Gone Home is like the one that really put walking sims on the map.
Progenitor, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I really don't know. I just feel like I'm not the best person to hand that question to. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well,
Sorry, every game can't be Monster Hunter, LeRon.
I think this will
Yeah,
tie
everything
in.
can be Monster Hunter, Dead Space, Uncharted. Wait, what are you about to say, Stephanie?
No, I think what I'm about to say might tie into an upcoming question is I would like there to be a walking sim category, as I would like there to be more categories, because I believe the more is merrier. Like, instead of having that awkward indie category, have a true indie category, then have a double A studio category. So in general, I think it would be wonderful to have more categories, just because it's more fun and exciting. It's not a critique to the current Game Awards, so it's more like it would be nice. I think it would be great, but I can understand why there isn't one.
Why don't we have an awards ceremony for indie titles? Like best farming sim, best, title that does this or that. Like best
Are
walking,
farming sims
best
are
puzzle,
farming sims indies though?
most
Not all of
cozy.
them. The one I
Because
play,
I feel like Harvestella would win all sorts of shit, even though that was a bullshit ass game.
Disney Dreamlight Valley, man, that's published by Disney and made by
you go.
Ubisoft. So, well, Gameloft, I guess, but Gameloft is owned by Ubisoft, so
The Wholesome Game Awards. How about that?
they have those. Kim Chica is one of the hosts of that.
Wait, Wholesome Games like showcase, or Wholesome Games? There's an awards thing for it.
I think there's an awards thing too. I think she's promoting it right now, actually.
All right, need to check that out.
So the other question in Discord, do you think the Game Awards are good or bad for gaming as a whole?
So that's kind of where my last thing is. My answer was, sorry, I'll let LeRon go after my quick statement. Seems like he has a juicy take. I'm going to take the simpleton answer and say, yes, I do think it's great because it generates conversation. Maybe not a lot of mature conversation, but I like the fact that we're willing to celebrate gaming. At least someone's freaking doing it. If I had an infinite amount of money and spare time on my hands, I would make up my own award show for video games.
Jumping in before LeRon, I'm just going to agree with Stephanie here. Yes, it's a good thing. Honestly, new trailers celebrating games. It's just the haters that are going to ruin it. Go on, LeRon.
Oh, I can talk now?
Yes.
Yep. Sorry.
You have our permission.
You seem like you have this idea that you're going to talk a lot about it.
Well,
I'm going to jump in before
Well, contrary to what people are thinking, I'm not going to show them the Game Awards. Like, I can sit on a bunch of things about the Game Awards, but I'm not going to show the Game Awards itself because, like, I do believe that it does wonderful things as far as games and recognition of games, and it actually gives the community something to talk about. That being said, it gives the community something to talk about, and there's the problem. Because I mean, no award show is perfect. It doesn't matter if it's the Grammys, the Oscars, the Emmys, the Game Awards, the VMAs. It does not matter. No award show is perfect.
There's one award ceremony that is perfect in every way, shape, and form. The Bossies Awards.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, Patrick, don't make me come for you tonight.
Whoa.
Not that coming. Not that one.
I appreciate the comment, LeRon, but I'm straight.
But in all seriousness, yeah, like the Game Awards does wonderful things for games, and you know what? Despite the fact that it's attached to Jeff Keighley and stuff like that, I feel like the Game Awards is something that should exist. Like when it came into fruition like 10 years ago, I believed that it was something that should exist. I still believe something should exist. It's funny because my roommate talked to me today, and he was like, "The Game Awards is when?" I'm like, "Oh, it's tomorrow night, Thursday night." And he's like, "Are you gonna watch it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch it." He's like, "I thought you hate the Game Awards." I'm like, "I hate the shit that happens to the Game Awards. I don't hate the Game Awards. Like I'm mainly watching it for like the new reveals and stuff like that. And I also want to see how some of my picks do. I picked The Last of Us for best adaptation. I picked Baldur's Gate 3 for Game of the Year. But I'm starting to think Alan Wake might slide in there and take it home.
Ooh.
You know what I'm excited for? Flute Guy.
Old Gods of Asgard?
Flute Guy.
Oh, sorry.
Flute Guy better be
Flute
there
guy.
somewhere.
No, Flute Guy. Flute Guy announced he's going to be
he was
there.
an internet sensation last year.
We don't forget. I don't forget. Flute Guy's in my gonna live rent free in my brain for life.
He's going to be there. He said he was. If you put Flute Guy and Old Gods of Asgard together,
Epic. Sorry, Corey. What were we saying?
I was just gonna say, like, I think the Game Awards are good for video games overall because we need that. I think video games are still not quote unquote a legitimate entertainment. What do you call it? Genre, I guess. Because of just how they've been viewed over the last 40 years, like kids games or anybody just thinks. People that don't know anything about video games still just think of Pac-Man, Mario, and Call of Duty, and now Fortnite.
Yeah, there's a stigma about video games, which is wild.
Mm-hmm. There is a stigma, and I think Jeff Keighley is doing the best he can to give us something that we can that we can all kind of look at, like our Oscars, right? I think that it's good for the industry because it creates a conversation around video games that otherwise don't really happen. There's a lot of announcements and awards, which I think is a good mix. I watch for the announcements personally because I think, me personally, even though I think the awards are good for the industry, I don't care about them. But I do think it is a good thing. I think we need to oh, sorry.
No, you finish your thought.
I think we need to come together and somehow, I think we all kind of pick the Game Awards as the one, but there's also like the Golden Joysticks and the DICE Awards, which are the more prestigious awards. And,
BAFTA,
but I think, the BAFTA Awards also.
BAFTA. But BAFTA's like a big deal because BAFTA, there's a BAFTA for games, but the game BAFTAs was based off of the one that's made for movies and television.
Yeah, so I think as we need to decide which one is our Oscars, which one's our Golden Globes, which one's our Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards type. You know what I mean? Like I think.
Oh, the Game Awards is Kids Choice Awards.
I think
I'm gonna be honest. I'll be honest with you because the way the BAFTAs are treated, the BAFTAs and the Golden Joysticks are treated like it's
Oscars.
Game night. It's the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl for gaming.
Yeah.
Have you seen the outfit Ben Starr wore to the Golden Joysticks?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I saw it.
I saw it because orange velvet suit.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw it because that was also where he made the comment about who was the winner of the who was the industry winner.
Was 2023 the best year in gaming?
The best year for gaming. And he was like, yes, it was, but no, it wasn't.
Yep.
Well,
yes for games, no for industry.
Just since you mentioned kind of validating video games as a medium beyond just kid stuff, just so you guys know, the Grammys, last year they started a category for video games and other interactive media. So
I remember that.
So these are the nominees for this upcoming Grammys, by the way: Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, God of War Ragnarok, Hogwarts Legacy, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Stray Gods, the role-playing musical.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's on sale right now.
Did Call of Duty have that much dramatic music to go around? I don't know, man.
I don't know what one of the Aliens games was in last year, like the multiplayer one. Anyway, so
well,
at least Hogwarts got nominated for something.
Yeah,
I know.
It was nice music.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up there. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. I will not be on the episode next week, and it's also the last episode of the year. So me personally want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. You guys, I'll talk to you guys on whatever. But the listeners out there, Happy Hanukkah. Anything that you celebrate over this holiday season. Stephanie, LeRon, Pat, thank you for your time as always. I think that's it. Go vote for book club. Join our Patreon. For $1 a month, you get early access to things. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
So long.
Farewell.
Something about bread. If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushMedia and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.